Hey, what's up guys? I'm here at StyleCon and I'm here with Joe and I want to take this opportunity. Joe, thanks for taking a minute out of your time to chat with us.
Doctore.
Yeah, absolutely. And Joe has been a long time follower of my channel and gone through the Spartan Rises program, and he was involved well before it was Spartan. It was the Workout Corner. And you've done all the programs and been one of the most dedicated trainees that I've seen as far as traveling. And Joe travels very often for work, so his nickname kind of the Road Warrior. So that'll stop a lot of guys because they'll think, oh, I'm off on the road and I can't get a system down. So you've kind of figured that part out. Plus, but I really want to talk a little bit more too on the age, because I get emails from guys who are 41, 51, 63, all of them asking the same question, which is it over for me? Am I done? Is there any hope left? So Joe, is there any hope?
There's lots and lots of hope. And so, you know, for me, I kind of came to this through a very circuitous route, and it was in my mid-50s when I was, you know, working hard and just not really feeling good.
Right.
And I was pudgy. I would, you know, eat as when I can. You know, the demands of travel was such, and I just didn't feel good. And I said, you know, I don't like this.
Right.
And so I started looking around, you know, what to do and do the research. It's part of my background, being an engineer, and mathematician, and a consultant. So I tried to figure out, well, so I got to change this somehow. And so I started with diet, because and so then I did that for a while, and I lost a ton of weight. But again, I still looked sickly and I didn't feel good.
Right, so you lost the weight, but now you felt you're looking maybe a little frail and just not quite feeling at the power. Okay.
And then I think that's when I kind of was searching again, saying like, well, okay, this is not the solution. And that's when I think I found the Workout Corner, you know, from searching.
Yeah.
And then I listened to a couple of your videos, and there was something resonated. So then I said, okay. But then I kind of like put it on the shelf and
wait, you mean you watched my videos, you didn't get right to work right away?
I was traveling.
Hey! Oh, okay.
I was traveling.
Right.
And in fact, it was funny because when I was actually at a client site, you called me.
Yes.
Because like, we exchanged some emails. Remember, I kept saying, I don't know. You said you were promoting this program, the Spartan Rises, and I said, I travel so much, and it's like based upon what it's going to require, and I'm not going to be able to get to the gym, and what am I going to do? And I was like stuck in this mindset.
Right.
It was going to be impossible to do. And then you called me, and I was in a meeting, and I actually left the meeting to take the call. It was like, wow. And so I said, you know, I'm going to do it. And so here I am in my late 50s now, figuring I got to change all this stuff. And, you know, I got to find a way to be able to get to a gym even though I travel. I got to find a way to eat the right foods and have them available to me so I don't eat the crap and do that stuff. And I need to be able to get my recovery sleep and do all that stuff.
Right. So really, what happened there is you had a big, and I want you guys to notice this, you had a big mindset shift. So now instead of seeing as there's no way for it to happen, now all of a sudden you're like, okay, how can I make this happen? And you were looking at the opportunities, you know, what's available to me with the traveling, and what are the pieces that I can use to accomplish that goal. So that's a big shift.
And the other thing, you know, some of my colleagues thought I was kind of crazy. So because here I am traveling to like Manhattan in New York, and I'm staying at a residence inn where I have a kitchen where I can cook all my own food, and I go to the local grocery store and I'm buying all the good stuff. And you know, they're thinking like, he's crazy.
This guy's lost it. Take him away.
So it worked out. It was fine. It worked out really good.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the age factor as far. So that's kind of, you know, the obstacle factor in terms of traveling and how you didn't let that get in your way. What about the age? Do you ever feel, you know, can you relate to these guys that I get emails from who are saying, is it over for me? Am I done? You know, I'm getting that from guys who are 40, to guys who are 70 plus.
And I had the same feeling. I said, like, I'm, you know, at my age, like, will I be able to make a difference? If I put in this effort, will it actually make a change?
Right, is it worth it?
And every time I was in the gym and I climbed the ladder, I would just laugh and say, I can't believe it. So here I am, you know, when I turned 60, I'm lifting more weight and moving, you know, heavy metal around and doing things that I never did in my entire life. And so I said, so that proved it to me. But not only that, you know, I think I've shared with you that, you know, when I was first starting off, one of the things I did is I had all my, you know, blood tests done and all that stuff.
Right.
And you know, at my age, my testosterone was relatively low, still within you know
Normal
levels,
sure.
but it was low. And just by doing the program and eating right and doing that heavy compound lifting and stuff, a year ago when I had my blood test done again, it was phenomenal. I more than doubled my testosterone level.
There we go.
That's no supplementation, nothing.
Right, that's just doing Spartan rises and getting your food intake in line.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Exactly.
Well, that's awesome, Joe. Thank you so much for taking time out to share your story. Guys, I hope you found that inspirational and motivational, and just seeing here's a real life example. It's one thing for me to tell you stuff, and that's coming from my story, and that's, you know, it's not like that's not true either, but it's nice to hear it from different people as well. And Joe is a dedicated, hardworking man I've known for a long time, so I'm honored to finally get him on camera for him to share it, and I'm thankful that you were willing to share your story with these guys. My
pleasure.
Because there's a lot to learn from it.
Yeah, don't stop. It's
never retreat, never surrender.
Never surrender, and keep lifting, moving forward.
That's right, keep climbing that ladder. Awesome. Thank you, Joe.
You're very welcome.